Hi, I'm Becky with Embodiment Works, and today we are going to be doing a 30-minute flow centered around the heart chakra. So, the heart chakra is our fourth energy center. It's one of the first upper chakras that we have, and it is connected to the element of air, which I love that the heart chakra is connected to this element. Because when we think of the heart, often we think of love, and love is one of those things that you always need. And it also is one that's really hard to explain. It comes in a lot of different forms, but you know when you have it and you know when you don't. But there's an intangibility to it. And same with air. You know when you have air, you know when you don't, you know you need it. But it's also kind of hard to explain. So I love that these two mirror each other in that way. So today we'll get just a little bit deeper connected into our heart space. So find a nice, comfortable seated meditation, whether up onto a prop or not, and then just close your eyes. Let your shoulders stack over those hips. And take a big, deep, full breath in through your nose. Let it out through your mouth. One more, breathe in. And breathe out. Dropping your awareness into your heart space. Letting all the flutters of your mind, the day, the external environment start to float away. Allowing yourself to get still enough that just maybe you can feel or hear your own heartbeat. Not fixating on it, but just noticing if you do. And checking in with the entirety of the body. Noticing how you feel in this moment. And then when you're ready, slowly opening the eyes, coming back into the space. Moving any props or bolsters out from underneath you. And then we're going to start our first posture in what we call a puppy pose. So for this, you're going to come into a tabletop posture. You want to keep the hips stacked over the knees. This is an important part of this posture. Untuck those toes so the tops of the feet are laying flat onto the mat. And then from here, you're going to walk your hands out forward. Forward, forward, forward. And then slowly, naturally, your chest is going to start to drop down until your forearms come onto the mat. And then maybe your third eye touches. And then dropping the chest in between the arm bones. Keeping those hips lifted. Melting the heart, which is another name for this posture. Heart melting pose. Walking your hands out far enough so that the pressure
is into the forearms and the third eye rather than crushing down onto your nose. But if your nose is a little crushed in the posture, that's okay. It happens for some of us. And again, dropping that awareness back into the heart space, melting the heart down, surrendering to the beats of the heart. Gently from here, you're going to slowly press down into those forearms, lift the chest just slightly, and then pull yourself forward onto your belly. Coming into a cobra pose, so you slide your hands underneath your shoulders or just a little bit ahead. Push the tops of the feet into the mat, pull the belly up and in, and then slowly inhale and lift the chest away from the mat. Light into those hands, they could lift up away. And then exhale, lower it down. We're going to do that a couple more times. Pushing the tops of the feet, activating the quads, the glutes, the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, lowering down. One more right here. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. Then coming onto the belly, you're going to extend your right arm out to the side. You're going to bring your right cheek onto the mat. Then you're going to bend your left leg, rolling onto your right hip. You're slowly going to use that left hand to roll your body onto that left hip, bending that left knee. You're going to plant the left foot on outside of the mat. The knee will point up towards the ceiling. If the foot doesn't perfectly plant, it's just the toe on the ground, that's fine. This is a big shoulder stretch right here. We're really opening into the heart space through the area of the shoulder. Breathing in and out through the nose, utilizing our Ujjayi breath here. Let each exhale soften any of the tension that you feel in the shoulder. Then gently roll it back onto your belly. Then you're going to slide the right hand underneath the right shoulder. Extend the left arm out to the side. Bring the left cheek down to the mat. And then you're going to bend that right knee this time. Pressing into that right hand, lift the right hip away from the mat, rolling onto the left hip. You'll plant the sole of the right foot on the outside of the left thigh. And then allowing the head just to melt down. Feel that big stretch in the front of your shoulder. This side may be different or more intense than the other side. That's okay. Allow it to be. Not wishing it different, but accepting it as it is. Watching the breath. Utilizing the breath to bring it down into the shoulders, those parts that feel the tension against the ground. And then when you're ready, you're going to roll back onto your belly. Bring those hands underneath your shoulders. Big motion here. Tuck your toes underneath. Pull your shoulders onto your back body, pull your belly up and in, activate through your quads, and then push into your hands to find a high plank, the top of your push-up. And then exhale, downward facing dog, full breath in, full breath out. One more, breathe in and breathe out. Gently, you're going to sweep your right leg up into the air. Exhale, bring your knee toward your nose, step it up in between your hands. Inhale, lift your arms up into the air into an Anjaneyasana. And from here, we're going to bring our hands to clasp behind our low back, so interlacing your hands, and then gently pulling the knuckles down towards the mat, opening up through the heart. Now, naturally, when we do this, we squeeze the shoulder blades together, our belly slightly sways out, and that's okay for where we are right here. And allow that to happen. We're actually going to get deep into the hip flexor here. So you're going to bend, inch that right toe forward, and then bend deeper in and find that nice deep stretch into that left hip flexor. Keeping the chest open. Breathe. You can untuck the back toe if that feels better. You can keep it tucked. That gives you more stability. 2 more breaths into that hip flexor. Inhale, you're going to sweep your arms up into the air. Exhale, bring your hands to frame your your right foot. Straighten through the right leg, flexing the toe up towards the face for your half splits. Take that full big stretch, extend your sternum towards your toes and your toes towards your sternum. Breathing into the backside of the leg. Really feeling the hamstrings and the calf. And then on your next inhale, you're going to bend back into that right knee. You're going to plant the left hand, inhale the right arm into the sky, extend it up into the air, and then extend it back behind you. You're going to kick your left foot into your hand. Take a big full breath in, a big full breath out. One more, breathe in, breathe out, inhale, and gently on your exhale, release your foot back so it doesn't slingshot down. And then from here, you're going to tuck your back left toe under, lift your left knee away from the mat. You're in your nice low lunge position. Pull the right hip bone back, the left heel forward, belly up and in, and then pressing down into that right footprint, lift the top half of the body into your high crescent pose. Stay with your breath right here. Magnetizing those inner thighs into your center line, breathe. On that next exhale, you're going to hinge your chest over your front thigh. We're coming into what we call a lightning warrior. Keeping that right knee bent over that front ankle. And if you have to bring that back foot up just a little bit so that you got a nice firm foundation into that right leg, that's great because we're going to need all of our weight to be firmly planted into this right leg. Those arms are extended back behind you, fingertips facing the ground, lifting the chest away, squeezing the shoulder blades on the back body. Take one more full breath in, all that weight into that right foot. Big transition here. Inhale, you're standing up, one leg Tadasana, lifting your left knee up with you. So balancing like you're stepping up onto an imaginary big box in front of you, flexing the left toes up towards the sky, softening the shoulders down the back as you reach the fingertips up. Great. One more big breath right here. All right, we're coming into our next posture. You're going to bring your hands down beside you. Taking that left floating leg, you're going to pull the heel towards the booty and allow the knees to come in line with each other. You're going to reach for that left leg, left foot with your left hand, and then you're going to extend your right arm up into the air. With your right arm up into the air, this may be where you are at today. This may be all you need. You may feel it a lot into your quads, and you might stay right here. This may be your version of dancer today. But if you want to extend a little bit deeper, you'll slowly start to kick the foot into the hand. And the more you kick the foot into the hand, keeping the hips square towards the front of your space, you may slowly start to hinge the chest forward to counterbalance yourself here. And that's great. Keep kicking. Feel that stretch into the quad, a stretch into the shoulder. Big opening into that heart space. One more full breath in. Full breath out.
And exhale, release the foot down, planting it down and forward folding over your legs. Full big breath in. Full big breath out. Let it all go. Inhale, lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to your high plank. Inhale, shifting it forward. Always can drop those knees if you need. Lower halfway to your chaturanga, arms at 90 degrees, squeezing in towards the body. Untuck the toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. Or if you liked those cobras that we started with, you can always do those. Exhale, lift those hips nice and high. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. All right. Taking that on the opposite side this time. Lift the left leg up into the air. Exhale, bring your knee towards your nose. Step it up in between your hands. Inch it up if it doesn't quite get there. And drop your back knee down to the mat. On that inhale, you'll sweep your upper body up into the air for your Anjaneyasana. Then we're going to bring those hands to bind behind your low back. Opposite grip. So whatever you did naturally on the first side, do the opposite one so it feels like a little funky. Yeah. And then from there, you're going to slowly start to pull the knuckles down towards the mat, squeezing the shoulder blades together, opening through the chest. Then inching that left toes forward, you're going to sink into that right hip flexor. Breathe. One more. Release your hands, lift your arms up into the air. Exhale, bring your hands to frame that front foot. You may have to inch that foot back if it was scooted pretty far forward. And then inhale the left arm to the sky this time. Extend that left arm back behind you. Kick your right foot into your left hand. Nice big shoulder, quad stretch here, but it's also a gentle shoulder stretch. So allow the shoulder to roll onto the back body. And then really feel the stretch into the quad here. You may want to push the booty towards the heel to get a little bit more into the belly of the quad. So notice if that helps or works for you. One more breath in and exhale, slowly release that foot. Then from here, you're going to plant the hands on either side of that left foot. Lift your right knee away from the mat. Firm foundation into those feet. Inhale. You're going to stand up into your high crescent pose. Pull your left hip bone back, right hip bone forward, softening the shoulders away from the ears. And breathe. Breathe. On that next exhale, lightning warrior, hinge the chest over the front thigh. Magnetize those pinkies together back behind you. Get that nice opening through your chest, almost like your up dog sensation. And then from here, we're going to find that big transition, all that weight into that left foot. On that next inhale, you really got to push down into that left heel. Stand up one leg to that. So using your core center to lift you up. Stepping up onto that big step in front of you. Flexing the right toes up towards your knee, giving you a little bit more stability with that floating leg. Finding the balance. Stacking bones. And from here, bring the hands down by the side. You're going to pull that right knee in line with your left knee, grabbing for your right foot with your right hand. Whether it's on the inside of the foot, the outside of the foot, it doesn't matter. For me, inside of the foot gives me the nice access to open my shoulder here. So feel free to explore that variation. Then from here, the left arm goes up into the air. And like I said, this may be right where you are with your hips nice and square towards the front of your space. Then gently from here, slowly start to kick the foot into the hand. Keep the hips nice and square towards the space. Feel the nice opening into your shoulder, the activation into your quad. Keep going, breathing. If you start to hinge forward, that's okay. Just keep those hips nice and square. Breathe in. Breathe out. You've got it. Give it all you've got for these next 2 breaths. Really feel that kick. And then when you're done, release. Drop it down. Forward fold over your legs. Stay with your breath right here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back. We're going to find that vinyasa. Inhale, shifting forward. Exhale, lowering halfway into your Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in, full breath out. All right, we're going to move through that one more time on each side, starting with your right leg lifted up into the air. Exhale, knee to nose, step it all the way forward. Drop the left knee down. Inhale, arms up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands behind your low back. Inch that front foot out. Sink into that hip flexor on that left side. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. And exhale, release the hands to frame the right foot. Inhale the right arm to the sky. Extend it back behind you. Kick the left foot into your hand quad stretch. Stay with your breath. Gently release it out. Tuck the left toes under. Lift the left knee away. Find your nice firm low lunge. And inhale, lift yourself up, high crescent pose. Exhale, hinge the chest over the front thigh. Find your lightning warrior. Really getting open through your chest, pulling your low belly up and in. And then using that pressure into your right foot to lift your left foot forward, one leg Tadasana. And if you have to take a couple steps to get to this posture, that's great. You get there. It's how you get there. Then from here, we'll find that dancer pose, bringing that left knee in line with the right, grabbing for the inside of the left foot with the left hand, keeping the right arm extended here, then gently starting to kick the foot into the hand. Staying with your breath, staying as long as you can. For you, we've got one more breath if you're sticking with me, but if you've already released it, that's great. Then gently let it go. Drop that leg down, forward fold over your legs. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Put your hands, step it back. High plank. Inhale, shift it forward. Lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in, big breath out. All right, left side, last side. Inhale, left leg up into the air. Exhale, knee to nose. Pull it forward, drop that right knee down. Inhale, your arms up into the air. Drop those hands behind, opposite hand grip. Open the heart, sink into the hips. Knowing our shoulders and our hips are complementary parts of the body, so they work together. And gently release the hands. Bring them down to frame that left foot. Inhale, the right leg up into the air. The right leg, left arm. Extend that arm back behind you. Kick the foot into the hand. Find that nice big stretch right here. Stay with the breath. Then gently release. Taking a half splits on this side like we did at the very beginning, evening it out here. Extending the sternum towards the toes, toes towards the sternum. Breathe in. Breathe out. Gently bend back into that knee, tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee away from the mat. Then gently from here, lift up, high crescent pose. There we go. Exhale, hinge into your lightning warrior, magnetize those pinkies together. All that weight into that left foot. Stand up, one leg, Tadasana. You got it. There we go. Last little balancing. Bring that right knee in line with your left knee. Grab for the inside of the right foot with the right hand. Then gently from here, start to kick the foot into the hand, keeping those hips square towards the front. Big full breath in. You got 2 more breaths. Gently release it out. Drop that foot down, forward fold over your legs. Inhale and exhale. There we go. Inhale, lift. Exhale, plant those hands, step it back, high plank. Inhale, shift it forward. Exhale, lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Gently lower the knees down. All right, we move through the flow. Now, we're gonna do one big heart opener to round out our practice. This is called camel pose. And with camel pose, This is one of those postures where setting it up and stacking the bones just right can be really important to maintain the integrity of the posture. But once you have that base foundation, then you can kind of add on and make it more. So for this, you're going to stand onto your knees. All right. Untuck your toes so that they're back behind you. The shins are on the ground. And then here, I want you to think about stacking the bones, your knees, your hips, your shoulders. So feel that stack. Allow yourself to be right here. Now, keeping the stack, tuck the toes underneath. Yeah. All right. So allowing the big toes to have that nice foundation here. Now from here, a lot of times, a lot of us have a tilt forward with our hips. I naturally do. So I have to really be very cognizant of tilting my tailbone down between my legs. I like to think of squeezing my tail between my legs like I did something wrong. But you haven't done anything wrong. That's actually what will feel the best in this posture. So you squeeze the booty down. So you've got that tuck right there. And once you have that activation, you're activating into the glutes is an important part of this posture. And activate into the glutes. And then from right here, you're going to bring your hands onto your chest and you're just going to lean back and lift up. Your quads go, whoa, lean back and lift up. One more, just like that. Lean back, pushing into the feet and lift up. Great. Now, if you're like, that was a lot for me, then that's cool. That may be what you just need to play with. But if you want to take it a little bit further, the next step is once you have that tuck into your pelvis, you're going to bring your hands onto your sacrum. I like to have my fingertips facing down so that the heels of my hands are on that triangle bone at the base of my spine. Then from here, the tucking of your tailbone, pulling my elbows back towards each other like they could touch, really opening through the chest and the shoulders. And from here, I'm keeping the hips stacked over the knees and slowly starting to lean the chest back. Now, if at any point in time I lose the activation into my glutes, I start to feel funky into my low back, that is a sign to lift away. So coming back up, we're going to stack the shoulders back over the hips. Now, if your low back is crunchy, which happens sometimes in this posture, I want you to focus at the middle of your back. The middle of your back is where this heart opening comes from. We're opening from the heart here. We're not trying to open from down here. So bring those hands back onto the hips. And again, tuck that tailbone underneath. Lift the heart, pull the elbows back, open through the heart, and then slowly pushing the hips forward so that they stay stacked. Start to lean back. You'll lean back as far as you can. And then maybe once you feel like you've gotten as far as you can, if you want to drop a hand down and reach for your heels, keeping your hips stacked over top of your knees. Now, when you have your heels, that may be a good place to stop. Or maybe you keep going and you drop your head back. Give yourself 2 more breaths at your peak posture. And then gently lifting the head up, bringing the hands back to the sacrum, and then lifting, stacking the shoulders over the hips. Find that nice tall spine, and then sit the hips back, releasing the toes. There you go. All right, so that's your camel pose. All right, after that big back bend, we're just gonna start to calm it all down. So go ahead and extend those legs out. We're gonna roll down onto our back, release it out. Pull those knees in, give yourself a nice little squeeze right here. Rock those hips side to side. Massage that low back. And then extend those legs out. Bring the hands on either side of the hips, palms facing up. Take a full big breath in. Big sighing exhale out. Release all the work. And with your heart nice and open, just sink into your heart space. You breathe in all the air around you.
One more breath. Exhale, let it go. Bring those arms up overhead, point the toes towards the front of your space. Exhale, knees to chest, give yourself a squeeze. And then gently, you're going to roll on to that left side using your left arm as a pillow. Bring your right hand onto your heart space and just give that little heart space a little rub, honoring your sweetheart, creating a deeper connection and love to your sweetheart. Then on your inhale, you lift yourself up. We'll come into a nice comfortable seat, just like we started. Bring those hands to heart center, thumbs to sternum. One final breath together. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Bring your hands to your third eye, the space between your brows. The love, the light, and the dark in me. Honor and bow to the love, the light, and the dark in you. Together we bow forward. If you feel so inclined, you can say Namaste. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Becky with Embodiment Works. It's always a joy to honor you. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them down below. I'd love to hear from you.